Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You're probably thinking that these don't look like a mug cake, but the fact is that these are actually made using a mug. Today, we're gonna learn how to make quick and easy mug cakes, but in a different way. We will be definitely using a mug to make these, but with some creativity, we will transform this into something more decorative so that it becomes more Instagram worthy. And also, we're gonna be making both Nutella and Lotus version of the mug cake, so stay tuned. The best part is that you can easily make these mug cakes in a few minutes. Before we begin, consider subscribing to my channel and hit that like button. It's free for you, doesn't cost you anything, but it really adds value to my channel. To begin, first we're gonna make the Nutella version of this mug cake. This tastes more like a brownie to me, as it's soft and chewy. For making the Nutella mug cake, you would need these 4 ingredients. You would need 1/4 cup Nutella, 3 tablespoons of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and about 3.5 tablespoons of milk. And you want to make sure that the milk is warm. Next, you want to transfer your Nutella into a mug. I'm using this transparent one just to show you guys. I'll be transferring this into a regular mug later on. Once you have transferred it over, go ahead and add about 3.5 tablespoons of milk, and make sure it's warm milk. You can microwave it for 10 to 15 seconds. At this point, you want to go ahead and mix everything up. You want to stir everything up until Nutella gets properly mixed with the milk. It may take a minute or two, but make sure there aren't any lumps in the Nutella left. And just to show you, here's a close-up of what everything should look like. Once it's all mixed properly, go ahead and add in your 3 tablespoons of flour. You can just add all of it at once. You don't have to do it gradually. Just use all-purpose flour, that works fine. Next, you want to add about 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and give everything a proper mix one more time. Just keep mixing it until there aren't any lumps left. And just for comparison, here's what it should look like. Should be smooth, should be running fine, there shouldn't be any lumps in there. Next, I want to transfer this into another mug. This recipe requires 2 mugs, one for mixing and the other one for actually cooking or microwaving the cake. The main reason is that we want to apply some parchment paper in the second mug, as this would help prevent the cake sticking to the mug. You basically need 2 pieces of parchment paper, 1 square little piece. The square piece would go in the center of the mug, and 1 rectangular one that would go around the mug. And here, just to show you, you want to take the bigger piece, wrap it around the mug, and you want to take the little piece and just drop it in, just like this. Here's the close-up of what it should look like. It's really easy to do. At this point, we're ready to pour in our Nutella cake mix. Simply just go ahead and transfer everything into this bigger mug. Here's another view from the top, and no matter how careful I am, I always drop a little smudge here and there. And now we're ready to microwave this. You only want to microwave it for about a minute. I usually do it in 30-second intervals. So microwave it for 30 seconds, then microwave it for another 30 seconds. After 1 minute, here's what it should look like. You could check for doneness by running a toothpick through the cake. If it's clear, that means it's done. Mine was done. If yours didn't get done in 1 minute, then just microwave it for an additional 10 seconds. Now at this point, you could eat it as is, or you could do what I do, which is taking it to another level. But before we do that, let's make the Lotus version first, which is my personal favorite. For making the Lotus Biscoff version, you would need the following ingredients. You would need 3 tablespoons of warm milk, 2 tablespoons of melted or room temperature butter, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 5 tablespoons of flour. You could use all-purpose flour for this one, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and finally 1 tablespoon of chocolate chips. To make this one, start by adding in 3 tablespoons of milk. Next, you want to add 3 tablespoons of sugar. Then you want to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. And don't do it like me. Make sure that you properly melt your butter. At this exact moment, here was my wife's reaction. I mean, relax, it's only a few splashes. Since my butter wasn't soft, I had to microwave it for about 10 to 15 seconds. And then I started stirring the butter so that it gets properly combined with the milk. And now we have buttermilk. Just kidding. If you want to actually see how I make buttermilk, check out this video. I go over the entire process of making butter, buttermilk, and all the extra stuff. Next, you want to add 5 tablespoons of flour. Again, you could use all-purpose flour. I say 5 tablespoons because it's more than 1/4 cup, but less than 1/3 cup. Next, you want to add about half a teaspoon of baking powder. And finally, you want to add about half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix everything up until you get a smooth consistency. You only need to mix it for a minute or two to get this type of consistency. Here's another close-up of what it should look like. Once you have mixed everything properly, only once you have done that, go ahead and add in your chocolate chips and give everything a 1 gentle stir. You don't want to be vigorous, otherwise your chocolate chips will melt easily. After this, you want to follow the same steps like before, which is basically adding parchment paper to your mug and transfer your batter into another mug. Just be a little careful with the chocolate chips. Once everything is transferred over, you want to microwave for about 1 minute and 30 seconds or a total of 90 seconds. I typically microwave in 30-second intervals and check in between for doneness. After 90 seconds, if your mug cake is still not done, then microwave for additional 10 seconds. At this point, you're done making the Lotus Biscoff mug cake. As an added bonus, I'm going to show you how to decorate these as well. Before we decorate them, first thing you want to do is let them cool off. Wait at least 5 minutes before touching your Nutella or Lotus Biscoff mug cake. Once it's cool to touch, run your knife around the mug cake on the outer side. Basically, we want to cut off any cake that's outside of the parchment paper. After that, carefully remove your cake. It should easily come out. If you have a wife, have her help you out as well. Then go ahead and remove any parchment paper. And now here's what the cake should look like up close. As is, it's pretty delicious, but we're going to decorate it and make it even more delicious. After this, you want to repeat the same process with the Lotus Biscoff version. Go ahead and carefully remove it. And here's what it looks like from the bottom. All those chocolate chips are looking pretty good down there. Just to play it safe, I just flip the plate and put it upside down. And here's what the total cake looks like up close. When you try these recipes out, let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. Is it the Nutella or the Lotus? For decorating this, we're gonna make chocolate ganache. For making the ganache, you're gonna need 1/4 cup of heavy cream. If you don't have heavy cream, just use milk. You're also gonna need 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. Next, you want to pour in your chocolate chips into the heavy cream and start stirring it up. It will take a long time to do this, so a quick shortcut is by just microwaving the whole thing for 10 seconds and stir it until the chocolate dissolves and melts with the cream. Here's what everything should look like once it's all combined properly. And now we're ready to decorate our mug cakes. And before we do that, I wanted to quickly show how spongy the mug cake is. Really soft and moist. But the Nutella one is kind of hard and chewy like a brownie. So essentially the Nutella version is more of a brownie and the Lotus version is more of a cake. Finally, for decoration, start by pouring over your chocolate ganache. Spread it so that it looks more decorative. And then go ahead and take a Lotus cookie, smash it, make it into a powder, and sprinkle on top. For more creativity, I also planted a Lotus cookie in there as well. For decorating the Nutella mug cake, I pretty much did the same thing by pouring over the chocolate ganache, but instead of adding a Lotus cookie, I covered it with chocolate chips. And here's what everything looked like. And that's pretty much all what you need to do to make these amazing decorative mug cakes. Do let me know in the comments below if you like this recipe. Highly recommend that you try it out and let me know what you think of it. In the end, I'm really happy with the way these turned out. My wife and I both had fun making these and enjoying them as well. And if you liked my content, consider subscribing and hitting that like button because it really adds value to my channel. Until next time, here's a B-roll of everything.